Everybody. This is not really a new location, but I'm like on the side of my bed, because I just feel like sprucing it up. Can you guys blame a girl for wanting to spruce it up? You can't because I do like sprucing it up. But I actually came on with the topic today, but I'm not sure if I'm going to stay on it because knowing me, yeah. And plus, well, it's not been an all nighter, but I had an Alani today, and I'm feeling great. I had the Alani like damn near like 13 hours ago, and I still am hyperactive as fuck. I think I felt sleepy for a little bit, but then something within me just perked up, and ever since then, like I've been perked up. I've been perked up since 8 in the morning, and so it's almost 12 and I haven't even slept yet. So we will have to see where it takes us. Okay. And I mean, when I say 12, I mean 12 in the afternoon when people are normally, out and about. I'm about to hit the hay after I film this video. So that is just what it is. I think I just need to get out some excess energy because right now my mind is racing like a million miles per hour. I just finished doing some art TikToks and I still have more to do, but a lot of them are being downloaded from the iCloud. And as you know, my Wi-Fi is fucking penis, so it's gonna take fucking forever to get them imported and whatever the fuck. And so I have to wait on that. But I created like a couple of videos I can like stockpile. I like stockpiling like I'm gonna run the fucking like I'm gonna be stuck in a fucking apocalypse of content. I don't know. And then I don't know what else I did. I think I'm just like super hyperactive right now because I feel like I'm talking super fast. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, I'm in a pretty good mood for what it is because today I celebrate my friends. Not my friends. I think, yeah, I made a video like a. The video that I made of me getting ready is the same. We're in the same day. Same day, y'all. Same day. Okay, so the video I posted about me getting ready for my friend's sister's birthday, it's the same fucking day. Well, not the same fucking day, but the same, like waking hour for me. It's not the same day because obviously it was yesterday, but it's the same day for me because I haven't slept. Okay, and so I went to the birthday party. It was actually pretty fun. It was a smaller party, which I'm really happy about, but there were kids there. Okay, there were kids there, and I was with a friend that is not particularly fond of kids, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm like a big fan of kids either. I'm not like a D1 kid hater, but I'm just not a big fan of kids just because I'm not sure how to handle them when they're having meltdowns or like when they're just being super fucking weird. Like normally, like for me, I'm okay with kids who are above the age of 10 because I can generally communicate with them a lot better because my cousin that I don't know how old that she is, but I think she's my cousin or my niece. I don't know. My cousin's daughter. So that I don't know what that is, but my cousin's daughter is around the age of like 10, and when I was in Vietnam, I was able to communicate with her pretty well because I don't know, like they're just easier to get along with. But when they're under the age of like, I don't know, fucking 5, they're learning how to talk, they're learning how to walk, they're learning how to manipulate you, they're learning how to gaslight you. That's just when I'm just not sure how to deal with them because it's not legally allowed for me to tell them to fuck off, but it's also maybe it is legally allowed for me to tell them to fuck off, but it's also not legally allowed for me to tell them to, go eat shit. But there's a lot of things that are not legal for me to say that isn't, outrightly abusive, like me being like, oh my god, like you're a fucking loser, or like telling them to shut the fuck up, or telling them to leave me the fuck alone, or like, you know just walking away from them. Like I feel those things are illegal in the eyes of maybe the peers around me, but not in the eyes of the law. But I like for me, I just feel so adversive to children just because like I said, I'm very uncomfortable around them. But anyways, my friend was telling me about how she doesn't like kids because she just thinks they're like super annoying. And like when we pulled up, she heard kids on the phone because we were parking or whatever. And my friend was like, let me check with our friend that's in the house to make sure that this is a place where we're not going to get towed. And so she called my friend that was in the house. And when she picked up, there were like kids in the background, like laughing and screaming and stuff. And she was like, "Oh my god!" The friend in the car, she was like, "Man, if there's like more than one kid in there, I'm gonna fucking leave. Like, I'm not even gonna go in there." And I'm like, "Wow!" Like, I don't know if you were being like hyperbolic, but dog, I don't think it's ever that serious, honest to God. And then we went in. It was just the kids that we normally see because it's I think it's my friend's niece, like the one that lives in the house. I think it's my friend's niece, and I think her friend. And overall, I like my friend's niece. I think she's this really sweet girl. She can have a little bit of, diva moments, but I think overall she's a very sweet girl. And it's obvious that her mom is a generally pretty good mom, but the other girl, okay? I'm not one to judge anyone's parenting, but oh my gosh, I feel so bad for that little girl because I just know she's gonna grow up just being the most spoiled and bratty fucking kid ever, because just based on my interactions with the mom and her daughter, and I've encountered this. I've encountered both of them previously, but I don't think it was that bad. But I think it was mainly because the child was still fairly young, and so she was, pretty cute, and she was just acting the way a child should. But now that she's a little bit older, you can kind of see that entitlement come out of the child, and it's really jarring to see something like that at such a young age. An example was that when we were at the party, we had like a little cooler. It's just a really small cooler, and then it was like right next to the little girl, and I think my friend's mom took out all the drinks because she was going to move it to the fridge. But by the time we got there, the party was like pretty much over, and so she was moving the drinks to the fridge, but she left the cooler on the floor, and by that time I think it was like just water. And me and my friends, we were just chatting it up, and then the birthday girl, she noticed that the child literally had both of her fucking feet in the cooler, like both of her fucking feet in the cooler, and just fucking sloshing around and shit. And I think that at this time, like, my friends didn't realize that there weren't any drinks in the cooler, but I think I noticed because the mom was, moving around. But everyone was like, oh my God, get your daughter's feet out of the cooler. Like, there's drinks in there. That's like a communal fucking thing. And I think I'd be more pissed off. It was like, if there were actually beverages within that cooler. But since I already had that, like, no, that, like, knowledge of they're already, the beverages were gone, dealt with, okay. But at the same time, but like, my friends were like, oh my God, get her fucking feet out of the fucking cooler, like, that's fucking disgusting. And her mom was like, oh my gosh. I think like the craziest thing was that her mom said, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that she was in the cooler. And I was like, girl, what the, she was sitting right next to you, because it was like a bar type of situation, and then there was two chairs. The mom was sitting on one chair, and the daughter was sitting on the other chair, and the cooler was right down here. And so the daughter went down into the cooler, and mind you, the mom is legit meters, not even meters, like inches away from her daughter, and she didn't even realize that the daughter was in the fucking cooler. Could you imagine if that cooler had drinks in there, and she fucking, I don't know, her dirty ass child feet got on the drinks or whatever? Like, you can rinse them off, but like, I don't want dirty child feet in my fucking food. And another instance was when we were like handing out the cake or whatever the fuck. They're little children. They're like, I think 5 or even 3. They're fairly young, and so we gave them this like this regular sized piece, and like, oh, you can share between the two of you because you already had enough sugar. And the spoiled girl just took the entire cake for herself, and we were like, bro, what the fuck? Like, she didn't even bother asking the other girl if she wanted anything. Like, she just took the entire plate, and so we had to give the other girl like a small piece of cake. And dude, it was just kind of jarring to see such a spoiled behavior at such a young age, because like, you're setting her up for failure basically. And I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell people how to parent, because honest to God, like, I'm never gonna have kids, so it's not my prerogative. But at the same time, don't you care about your kids? Like, why am I caring more about your kid than you are? Like, why do I give more of a fuck about how your daughter is behaving than you are? Like, is that not embarrassing to you? Is that not embarrassing? Like, are you not embarrassed? Because I would be if I had a child and that bitch was running around acting a fucking fool. Oh my gosh, we would have to vacate. We would have to vacate so fucking bad. I'd be like, okay, we're gone. We're gone. I'm just gonna pack up the leftovers and we're leaving, because I am not gonna stay here and pretend that, it's all good and dandy when it's damn well not, when my fucking child's acting like a fucking butthole. If your child's acting like a butthole, you don't have to fucking hit them or, yell at them, but you have to be stern with them and be like, hey, yo, knock that shit off. We're at a party and you can act a muck when we're at home, but right now you gotta remember why you were invited to this session, okay? You have to remember why you were invited to the function, because right now, you're not acting the part. You're not acting the part. Like, I'm not saying that kids are not allowed to have fun, but feet in the fucking cooler. Feet in the fucking cooler, man. That's crazy shit. And even the mom, I don't want to dunk on the mom too much, but the mom herself, I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but the mom herself almost kind of seems like a teenager herself. But she's what, almost 10, 20 years old, not 10, probably like 10 or 15 years older than me and my friend. And even the both of us clocked that she felt a little bit immature. And I'm going to explain the situation to you guys so you guys can kind of understand where we're coming from. So basically, we bought the birthday girl a present, which was just like Lucky Charms. It was just Lucky Charms just by itself in a bag, no cereal, no nothing, just the Lucky Charms. Okay, and she was busting it out. She was sharing. She was trying to open it to share with us, and we couldn't get it open because we're fucking dumbasses. And so we handed it off to my friend who was, you know, a lot smarter than us, and she was trying to open it. And then the mom comes over, and she's like, "Oh, what is that? What is that? What is that?" Like she was all up in our fucking space. Like, what is that? Like, what can I have some? What is that? Like she didn't even know what it was, but she was asking if she could have some. And for me, that's something that I would expect a toddler to say, because a lot of kids just don't have just have they're just really impulsive, and so they come over, and even though they don't know what it is, they want it because they see adults having it, and so they want it. And so that's what it was giving to me. It was giving childish. And then while we were trying to open it, she just kept on like being like, "Oh, what is that? What is that?" And you know, the birthday girl, she's 18, right? So I didn't expect an 18-year-old to be more mature than, you know, the mom, but she was like, "It's just Lucky Charms. Like, calm down. We're trying to open it." And so my friend got it open, and then the first thing the mom said was like, "Can I have one? Can I have one?" When it was the birthday girl's gift. And so I was like, "Oh wait, let the birthday girl get one first because it's her birthday present." And it baffled me that I had to say that, because out of my friend group, I'm the most immature. You can tell that I'm fucking immature. Like, I'm just a cocksucker, okay? But the fact that the immature one, had to be like, "Yo, calm the fuck down, let the birthday girl," like, it's her birthday, bro. Like I feel like on your birthday, you're allowed to be a little bit spoiled. And so I was spoiling the birthday girl. I was like, let her have her fucking Lucky Charms. And so, you know, we were passing it around and stuff, and she obviously got one, but like for me, that was a moment where I was like, I clocked it, but I wasn't sure if anybody else did. And so when we got in the car, my friend that like hates kids was like, did you notice something? I was like, was it the Lucky Charms incident? And she was like, yeah. Did you notice that? I was like, I thought it was the only one. And she's like, no. Like, that put me off too. And I was like, okay, so it wasn't just me, because you know me, I try to be a nice person, I try to be understanding, I try to be a casual motherfucker, but goddamn, man, am I not judgmental? Because oh my days, I just don't know. I just don't know, y'all. And I try to be understanding, because I actually can't be understanding, because when the mom and the baby left, because I had to leave because she had school or something. My friend that lives there, or like knows her a lot better, she was telling us about how that the mom would always just kind of leave the baby with her. Like, even when she was a toddler, even when the baby was a toddler, she would leave it with my friend, who was about 18 at the time, or even 19. And at the time, she was like basically a stranger to this baby. And the fact that the mom would leave not a stranger, like she knew who my friend was, but the baby doesn't know who my friend is, because that shit just came out of the fucking womb. Like, that shit just kind of birthed out, came to the fucking canal, all wrapped in fucking blood. And that shit probably just, you know, learned something about smells. They probably learned how to fucking, I don't know, open their eyes. Or, like, you know, like, kids are just kids. And so they like things that are familiar. And so the mom would always leave the baby there with my friend. And then she would go to smoke. She would go to smoke and drink in a car. That's like, what, 2 meters? Like, I don't know where she would go, but the many times I've seen her, she would always leave the kid with me and my friend. And I'm just like, we are not your fucking babysitters. Like, I'm over at my friend's house because I want to hang out with my friend, not to fucking babysit kids, and I'm not even being paid for it. Like, if they were a family friend, you know what? I'd be like, you know what? I love you. I'll do it. You know? But I don't even know you, babes. Like, why are you leaving me with your child? Like, what if I'm a freak? I mean, I am a freak, but I'm not going to do anything to your fucking kid. I'm a freak in other ways. Like, I don't know what I like. I mean, I like eating mayo. I like eating mayo. I like eating mayonnaise. I like eating mustard. I don't know. I like tuna. I like tuna salad. Like, why would you leave someone who likes tuna salad with your child? Isn't that demented? Yeah, yeah, it's demented, all right, okay. And so I just, I just don't know. I feel like I would be I'm a fairly protective person. I think not. Am I? I don't know. I feel like people protect me more than I protect them. But generally, if someone needed me to do, like, help them, and I knew them, I would help them because they're my fucking homie and stuff like that. And in terms of like the children, I'm just like, and the fact that the mom would just like leave the children and go and smoke and whatever the fuck, it's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's just baffling to me. Like, how are we gonna set up your children for failure like that? And I know a lot of children are being raised like that now. And for me, let me just say this outright. Okay, let me just say this outright. I do not believe in fucking hitting your kids, because if you were ever hit as a kid, you would never ever want to subject that to anybody, much less your own fucking blood and whatever the fuck. Blood and spit. I don't even know what kids are made out of. Like blood, spit, eggs, sperm, whatever. Okay, they're made out of something, and I'm not sure what it is, but they're made out of something. Okay, they're like you and I, but different. Okay, and I don't believe in that type of discipline, because I feel like that's just going to generate more violence in the future. Because if you're going to beat your kids, that's going to teach them that violence is the solution to disobedience. And so every time they, witness something or like encounter something that makes them angry or makes or like displeases them, they're going to resort to violence, because that is what they know. They know that like that is not what they want, or is not what is expected, or whatever the fuck. Something bad happens basically, and so they resort to violence because that was what they were raised with, And for me, I was beat as a kid, but I wasn't beat to the point where I was like, where it was like, a CPS situation. It was just like a, like a ethnic thingamabobber, and I'm gonna excuse it. My parents stopped beating me when I was like, I don't know. By the time elementary school like ended, not even like probably like third grade, not even third, like first grade, okay, first grade, and I got beat, but at the same time it's because I was fucking naughty, dude. I would like, I don't even know what I did, but there was one time I stole like a watermelon from my neighbor, and I didn't get beat. Maybe I did. I don't remember. I think I might have got like whipped with like a chopstick, and then I was like locked in a laundry room for like 30 minutes in the dark. I feel like that's worse. The main punishment that I used to get as a kid was like kneeling in front of a wall for hours, and we would have carpet. So by the time I got up, I would have like carpet burn on my legs because I couldn't sit still. So I would just like keep on like going back and forth, and I would have like carpet burn on my legs. And another time, I don't remember who beat me with a hanger, but someone did, and it broke, and I remember that. But I don't think I ever got the belt. I don't think there was ever a hand. But regardless, that is not me excusing what my parents did. They know it's bad. They obviously stopped doing it, and the only times that they never hit me towards them. But like what I'm saying is that I understand where people who have experienced abuse come from, because I've also experienced childhood abuse. Not in terms of like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm just saying that I've been through what y'all have been through, and not y'all. I don't know if y'all have also been through it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I don't know. If you have, then you have. If you haven't, you haven't. Okay, I'm not gonna shame one party or the other. Okay, like it happened or whatever the fuck. You gotta get. I don't want to say you have to get over it, but you have to learn from it. And what I'm learning from that experience, while not a good experience, is that I don't ever want to put harm on another person because of the way it made me feel as a child. It made me feel unprotected. It made me feel scared of my parents, and it made me scared to even want to approach them about the most minor details. And that still follows me to my adulthood. I don't tell them a lot about what's going on in my life because I find it irrelevant, because every time I would go to my parents, it would be about big things like, oh, can you sign this permission slip so I can go to a certain place? Can you give me money so I'm able to afford this and that for school, And so I'd always approach them with these big things, but I would never approach them with these minor things because I was scared of my parents, and I was scared that if I told them something they didn't like, even if it was minor to me, it might mean something to them, and it's going to cause, an altercation, not an altercation, but like, an argument. And so I don't really tell my parents those things, and that is why I believe that you should not be fucking beating your kids beyond the fact that you're gonna fucking scar them and you're gonna traumatize them and you're gonna cause like years and years of irreparable damage. It's also going to cause a lot of issues in the future with like emotional instability, with issues with trust, just a lot of things, And so that is why I believe that you should not be fucking beating your kids. And there's myriads of other reasons as to why, but that is one that I'm trying to get at in this current moment. But I also believe that being too gentle of a parent results in a child that is unruly, and a child that just gets to do whatever the fuck they want and get away with whatever the fuck they want and never grow up with consequences. I believe that children should grow up with consequences because that is what life is all about. If you don't receive consequences in this lifetime, goddamn, bro. Goddamn. Because you must be the most pampered motherfucker in the world. And you must be the most naive, most spoiled motherfucker in the world. And I wonder how that feels. Because how have you gone through life without experiencing any tribulations, any challenges that you could write in a college essay to get you admitted? How have you lived life without any any difficulties, because you have to have some, adversity in your life. It just baffles me how people are just how parents are just allowing their children to get away with whatever they want. And I understand that, like, the new generation of parents, which are millennials, were raised by boomers, and boomers, they are questionable at best. I'm not saying all of them are, but a select few of them are. And the way that they parent, I don't want to speak too much on them. Okay, I don't want to speak too much on them because I don't know. My parents are boomers, like 1987. So I'm guessing that's boomer. I don't know. Or maybe what's the other one? Is it boomer or something else? I don't think it's boomer. I don't know. But anyways, but I've heard a lot of discussion in millennial spaces about how their parents raised them and how it affects the way that they treat their children. And I can understand that, like, the way that millennials were raised up. They don't want that the same for their, kids. They were probably raised up in a very strict, very kind of rule abiding household, like very kind of structured, where it's like, oh, you are the daughter, you wear pink, this and that, you have to do all the chores, this and that, and if you're a guy, you have to wear this and that, and then you have to do this and that, like you have to do sports, you have to mow the lawn, you have to make sure you get a good paying job so you can pay for your wife and stuff like that. And so you grow up with these really rigid expectations of you, and I feel like when they grow up, they're like, oh my gosh, like, that was hell for me growing up. Like, I don't want that. I want my kid to be free. I want my kid to, be comfortable around me. But where's the boundary, babes? Where is the boundary? Okay, because what do you mean you're your kid's friends? What do you mean you are your kid's best friend? You should not be a best friend to your kid. And I don't know if that is a hot take, because, like I said, not a parent, but me personally, my mom tries to be my friend. Like, she tries to be like, oh, like, why don't you talk to me like I'm your friend? Because, well, mom, you are not my friend. You are not my friend. You are my mom. And so I'm going to treat you like my mom. I'm going to treat you with respect. I'm going to tell you the things that you need to know. Not that I want to tell, like, I'm going to tell you things that you need to know, but I'm not going to tell you the things that you don't need to know. Like, shit, like, I don't know, like, I took a fat shit today. That's something I would tell my friends, okay? I would tell my friends, like, oh, I got this really cool drink at this really cool cafe. I would tell my friends that, but I'm not going to tell my fucking mom that, because the fuck? You're not one of my friends. Like, you're my mom, bro. And I don't know if that's, like, an unpopular opinion to, be so rigid or, like, cold towards your mom. But I don't think it's being cold. It's me having boundaries with my mother and understanding that we have our own roles within this lifetime. And now that I'm older, obviously I can be a little bit more kind of friendly with my mother, because I obviously understand her responsibilities. I understand a lot more about her. And so I am more open with her, but at the same time, there has to be a boundary of what you are speaking to your parent about, you know? And so what I've noticed especially is that the most spoiled children tend to have parents as best friends. If you know what I mean. When I was in high school, I had this girl, and she was yeah, she was very spoiled, and she just got her way all the fucking time. And whenever we were in a friend group, you can really tell that she just didn't understand the notion, the concept of sharing, the concept of being socially conscious, of being socially aware, of being just kind to people around her, because she just kind of expected people to cater towards her, and she just kind of saw herself as this really insular, really, main character, not main character, but like, she just saw herself as someone better. And so whenever she needed something, she expected someone to do it for her, even if they, had other obligations. Like, she always kind of saw them as like a servant almost. And so when I met her mother, it just clicked for me. I was like, oh wow. And she was like, yeah, my mom's my best friend. Like, I tell her everything. And I'm just like, not to judge, babes, because at the same time, it's questionable at best. It's questionable at best, because I don't know how you're able to just enjoy that, it just baffles me. But at the same time, I just don't, I guess I'm a little bit out of touch in this regard, because I'm never gonna have children, and I'm probably never gonna be in a space where I'm gonna be, around children to the point where I'm almost raising them, And so I do understand that parenting is a very, very kind of difficult thing. And I've heard from, my aunts who are parents and my cousins who are parents, and the way that they talk about how, how tough it is being a parent, just learning through these hurdles and stuff like that. Like even in Vietnam, my I don't even know if she's like my cousin. I technically call her my aunt, but I think she's technically my cousin. But so I'll just call her my aunt because I've always called her my aunt. But my aunt, she has this baby, and the baby is just a super picky eater, and you can just tell about how tired she is every time she has to feed her child, because she has to literally spoon feed her for an hour just for her to get like down like this small little bowl of food. And so when I was in Vietnam, I was just like, you know what, mommy, you go and do whatever you gotta do, and I'll feed the baby. So I'll just sit there and just spoon feed the baby while watching TikTok or something. And for me, it's something easy because I'm only doing it once in a fucking blue moon. But for her, it's an every single day occurrence, 3 times a fucking day. And so I would understand how tiring that would get, and how just ugh you would get. And so I understand the tribulations of being a parent. And so I'm not going to fault any parents for doing so, but at the same time, I do want parents to understand that, or like to kind of think about their actions, just kind of assess the way they're treating their children. Like, I love that you're being a kind mom. I love that you're speaking to your child in a way that you would treat anybody else. Like, you're not talking down to your child, you're not treating them as if they're dumber than you're treating them like a fucking human being. And that's great. I love that. I love that you're treating them with so much respect, because they do deserve that. Children do deserve respect. But at the same time, you don't need to cater to their every need. You don't need to coddle them. You don't need to tell them this and that. You don't have to, essentially be their butler. You don't have to be their friend. All you need to do is be a parental figure. You can be what a parental figure is, mind you, is a supportive figure. Okay, they give you what you need to survive, to flourish. You give them a house. You give them a house or whatever. You give them shelter. You give them food. You give them resources in order for them to succeed. But you don't need to be there for them in a way that a friend should be, because they have friends their age, and it'd be a lot more suitable for them to be friends with people their age, because that's how you grow up, that's how you interact, to socialize or whatever. You fucking do the do with not do the do, but you just grow up with the people around you. But like, having your mom as a friend or your dad as a friend, it's definitely going to create a dependency, a really, really strong dependency that I'm worried about the future generation. I covered this concept in my boy moms wanna, fuck their sons or something. And let me just say, I don't know why that video is so fucking popular, because I genuinely don't remember what I said in it. Like, I don't think I said anything like too outrageous. I just said what needed to be said, and people are like, oh my god, this and that, and I'm getting like, okay, like, whatever the fuck. Like, if you want to fuck your mom, I don't care. If you want to fuck your son, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not the sheriff in this town. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I'm not even fucking Steven Seagal. I don't even know who that is, but I'm not even him. And so I can't even lay down the laws of the rules. And so if you want to do whatever the fuck you want with your family, by golly, do it. But if you've made it this far in the video and you're still like, oh man, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, man, get a grip. Get a grip, shawty babe, because But okay, let me just end the video by saying how much I appreciate the newer parents. Okay, I do appreciate a lot of what the newer parents are doing. They're speaking to their kids like fucking adults, and not fucking adults, but they're speaking to the kids in a very respectable way. They're treating their children very normally, because normally children are, oh my gosh, dude, that's gonna stunt your fucking child. Talk to your child normally. They treat these little humans like little humans, and it's so cute. Like, I love that one video of that little boy like cleaning the plates or something, and he just speaks so eloquently, and you can tell by the way he speaks, his parents just talk to him normally. They talk to him as a normal human being, and that's how he grew up. And so the way that he speaks reflects the way that he was raised. And that one video of that baby being like, who wants to go to Four Seasons Orlando? And he's like, dude, that's how you know that baby was talked to in the most normal way. He's been raised in such a way that he's able to just, that is some cognizant shit, bro. That is some cognizant shit. And that is what I like about the new generation of parents. They treat their children like actual human beings who have rights, who have, rights. They're able to be respected, and they just have, and these babies have boundaries. Like they just treat them with so much respect, and I love that. I love that you're treating your children with so much kindness and so much humility and so much, whatever the fuck. But like I said, you have to understand that there is a difference. There has to be a boundary between y'all. There has to be something that allows you to be the parent, not the friend. You have to be strict with your children. Like if your child is, I don't know, being fucking bad as fuck, fucking gripping the fucking cat. Like if you have a pet and your fucking child is just gripping the fucking animal like a toy, you are to reprimand that child and be like, hey yo, knock that off, bro, because that is an animal and you're hurting the animal. Like that's the same as you. That's an animal and it's breathing, as whatever. Like it can feel pain. So you have to tell the child that's not something to do. You're not gonna, don't smack the child's hand or like, fucking hurt them, but tell the child that's not right and tell them why it's not right so they understand, because children want to know why. You're not just gonna be like, don't do that to the animal. They're gonna ask why, and if they don't know why, they're gonna continue to do it until you tell them why. So I don't know, like if a child is fucking shitting the fucking bed just cuz, not because of any like disorder, just cuz they're just shitting the bed because they know they can, they shit in the bed and you're like, don't do that, and then just walk away. You wash the sheets and you call it a fucking day. Like what the fuck is that going to do in the grand scheme of things? You're going to tell someone to not shit on the bed and not explain why? You could tell me and I would understand why, and that's because I'm a fucking adult. But when it comes to children, they're not dumb, but they're not smart. Okay, so you gotta tell them what's up. Okay, so if a child is shitting in the fucking bed for funsies, you sit that motherfucker down with a washed butt. Okay, you make sure that bitch is clean, because I don't want any dookie stains on any chairs. Okay, but you're gonna sit that child down and tell them that is not right because of this and that, because it's an inconvenience to that. That's disgusting. It's unsanitary. Just talk to them like a fucking human being instead of like treating them like they're fucking dumb as rocks. Like they might be dumb, but they're not dumb as like sedentary rocks. Okay, they're not dumb as fucking boulders. They're like dumb like pebbles. But that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Like pebbles, they're not that bad. But boulders, man. um but yeah, that is just what I had to talk about. I think I'm slowly like starting to calm down. Not calm. I'm not calming down, but I'm starting to calm down. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I really want to get to bed because I don't have things to do tomorrow, but I feel like I should at least try to fix my sleep schedule, because the fact that I'm still up is concerning. It's that energy drink, man. That Alani, oh my gosh, that shit went in my bloodstream, and ever since then it's just been. But yeah. Okay, to end this video, I would love to hear. I mean, if you made it this far, what is that? Has it been there the entire time? Oh my gosh, I think that's just Cheeto dust. Yeah, that's just Cheeto dust, guys. Don't worry. But if you made it this far, I would like to hear your thoughts about how, if you're a parent, I don't know why you're watching my videos. Hopefully not with your kids, because if you're watching this with your kid right now, tell the kid I said what's up. Or, I mean, shit. Hi, kid. Hi, child. Okay, pluck your ears. I hope you pluck your ears throughout this entire thing, because you heard some things that I didn't mean for you, okay? Like, but, I mean, if you're a parent and you're watching this, I'd be really interested to hear, like what you think about parenting and, how you feel about it, because I'm interested how actual parents are feeling about this like soft parenting thing, or like the spoiled children epidemic, or like the iPad baby, whatever the fuck. I would be really interested to hear. And if you're someone interested in kids but you're young, I would be interested to hear why you want kids, and what you want to do with them kids, like like how you plan on raising them. I'd be interested in hearing that. I think I'd be really interested to hear people my age, like 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds, like even what. Gen Alpha, if you're watching this, I need you to go take a walk and then come back and answer, okay? Because you've watched through this long. I just need you to get off the fucking screen and, do some jumping jacks and come back and answer, okay? So if you want kids, tell me what's up. And if you have kids, tell me what's up. Tell me how you feel about this entire subject, because I'm really interested about it. And I think that the reason why I'm like a little bit fired up about it is because I do care about kids. I just don't like them. I care about kids, but I like them, and I want to see them flourish. I want to see them succeed. I want them to, fucking frolic in the fields and have fun, but at the same time be grounded and understand, right from wrong. I want them just to be, little stinkers, just like me, but also be, educated. well-rounded, emotionally mature, and so yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. Let's just quickly say goodbye to my man. Oh, not my man. My alters, if you will. So this man, he says goodbye, and we will say goodbye to. I don't even know where I'm pointing at this point, and we will say to people. Say goodbye to Peapod because he's been through with us through all of this with us through and through, and you know what, that is a grandparent right there, so he probably knows what he's doing, because if he has 2 generations after him, he's doing something right. Okay, but anyways, that's all I gotta say on that. Hopefully this wasn't too crazy, because I definitely feel like I said some things that I probably should have not said, but man, what the fuck? Who gives a shit? Like, who the fuck is watching this video anyways? But anyways, okay, I'm gonna log off now and go to sleep. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. All right, kisses.